Today on News 12, get ready for a messy first half of the weekend. Hope telling us about the rain and snow making its way through the area and what's to come behind it in just a few minutes. Plus, hear how a pregnant woman says her pleas to NYCHA for help have gone unanswered, leaving her in physical and emotional distress in Williamsburg. And coming up, cadets this morning were training with a special unit at SUNY Maritime College. See exactly who it was getting a crash course in Navy training. Good afternoon, I'm Dave Roush and you're watching News 12. We'll get to your top headlines in just a few moments, but let's start off by checking in with Hope Osawaka as people across the tri-state and right here in our borough are dealing with a wintry mix. And you said that the rain and snow is kind of doing its thing and there's wind behind this, right? Wind and cold?
Yeah, so it is coming to an end. It should be wrapping up in just a few hours.
Thanks, Cecilia, and remember to download the free News 12 app for up-to-the-minute weather alerts right on your smartphone or your tablet. Well, it's not just drivers feeling pain at the gas pumps. Uber customers are about to see a fuel surcharge on their bills. The rideshare company saying it is rolling out a temporary fuel fee to offset record high gas prices. This will apply to rides and Uber Eats deliveries starting March 16th. The money will go directly to those drivers. You can expect to pay up to 45 cents on an Uber Eats order or up to 55 cents per ride. The only exception is in New York City, where drivers recently received an increase. Uber says it will reevaluate that surcharge in 60 days. And continuing the rise of gas prices and how they're being felt here at home, AAA reporting the average price for a gallon of gas nationally, $4.33, which is about 10 cents lower than the average price per gallon in New York, which is $4.45. Now, with those prices continuing to skyrocket, we want to try to limit your pain at the pump. So, according to GasBuddy.com, the cheapest gas you can get in the Bronx is at the BP station. That's at 2475 Boston Road. And the Global at 3400 Baychester Avenue. Both are $4.29 a gallon. And over in Brooklyn, the cheapest you will get a gallon of regular is $4.19. That's at the Conoco on McGinnis Boulevard and at the Sunoco on Meeker Avenue, both of those in the Greenpoint neighborhood. And with gas prices skyrocketing, we are breaking down how you can save a little extra money. To find out, just scan the QR code at the bottom of your screen, and that'll take you to some money-saving tips on our website. Cadets with a special unit were out training this morning, getting a taste of what military boot camp is truly like. But as News 12's Julio Avila shows us, those taking that training aren't exactly enlisted, but rather were kids. All right, Julio, thank you. And the radar is going to be up throughout our newscast throughout the day, so you can continue to keep track of this incoming storm as we're doing. But right now, let's get to some new developments in a case surrounding who police believe to be a serial killer linked to different parts of human remains being found dismembered within blocks of each other. If you take a look at your screen here in just a moment, you're going to see surveillance video of 83-year-old Marceline Harvey getting up out of a wheelchair. Take a look at this, and a leg is right there on the seat. Detectives believe Harvey is responsible for Susan Layden's murder. Dismembered body parts found over the span of a week all match back to Layden, according to police. And the surveillance footage, along with other recordings, tie it all together to Harvey. NYPD Chief of Detectives James Essig says he believes Harvey is a serial killer.
Gruesome and barbaric homicide, which resulted in a headless torso being disposed of on a New York City corner. And it takes a serial killer off our street. This is just the latest of a list of heinous offenses conducted over a period of a lifetime by Miss Harvey, and we can only hope that she can do no more.
Meanwhile, over in Manhattan, a man is wanted for stabbing 23-year-old Angel Miguel Salazar, a McDonald's employee. And all of this information is according to the New York Post. Now, Salazar, who's from the Bronx, was stabbed in the face, back, and arm at the fast food restaurant after trying to shield his two female co-workers. He was placed in a medically induced coma and is now recovering in the hospital. We'll keep you updated on the latest details right here on 12. And the NYPD is asking for the public's assistance in finding the individual in connection to an alleged rape. The incident was reported yesterday around 3:30 p.m. at Davidson Avenue and West 190th Street. The person fled on foot southbound on Davidson, leaving the victim with lacerations to her nose and mouth as a result of that incident. She was taken to an area hospital by EMS. Now, anyone with information on that situation is asked to call NYPD's Crime Stopper hotline at 1-800-577-TIPS. And this week on Power and Politics, an in-depth conversation with Senator Kirsten Gillibrand as the U.S. and the rest of the world continue to address the crisis in Ukraine. The senator telling us her thoughts on Russia's actions and how long she believes the conflict will go. Here's a preview.
I do not think we can provide.
And the senator also talked to us about rising gas prices, the increase in gun violence, and the importance of Women's History Month. Don't miss Power and Politics. That's Sunday morning at 11:30 right here on News 12. Welcome back. Turning now to news out of Williamsburg, where one woman is calling on NYCHA to repair things in her apartment that she says are making her physically and emotionally ill. To make matters worse, she's pregnant. Our Jordan Kassane is at the NYCHA housing building now with the details. Thanks, Jordan. And we did reach out to NYCHA about the conditions in that apartment, and we will let you know when we hear back from the agency. The Biden administration partially ended a Trump-era border policy for children. Just after midnight Saturday, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention terminated part of a public health order called Title 42 as it relates to unaccompanied minors arriving at the U.S.-Mexico border. Title 42 largely barred migrants from seeking asylum in the U.S. using a pandemic emergency rule. The CDC supports its decision by citing a number of protocols to reduce the spread of COVID-19 among migrant children who travel alone. Single adults and families could still be turned away. Disney CEO Bob Chapek apologizing for his silence on a proposed Florida law that some call the Don't Say Gay bill. He did mention the bill on Monday, but declined to issue a public statement. Now, in a letter to Disney employees Friday, Chapek said, quote, "You need me to be a stronger ally in the fight for equal rights, and I let you down. I am sorry," end quote. He went on to say Disney will be pausing all of their political donations in Florida. The bill would ban instruction on sexual orientation and gender identity in grades kindergarten through 3rd in public schools. The bill already passed the state house and now heads to Governor Ron DeSantis, who is expected to sign it. Plus, some more positivity here. Someone in Brooklyn might be walking around with their pockets feeling a little heavier this afternoon after hitting it big in last night's Take 5 lottery drawing. The lotto announcing that a top prize winning ticket was sold at Quentin Deli Grocery in Marine Park. That's good for just over $46,000. So if you know anyone who frequents that store, you might want to give them a call and see how they feel about, taking you out to lunch or maybe buying you some gas. And today, March 12th, marks National Girl Scout Day. If you love yourself some cookies, today's a perfect day to order some from a Girl Scout near you. Whether your favorite flavor is Thin Mints or Gooey Tagalongs, we can all agree everyone loves a good Girl Scout cookie. So grab a cookie or a dozen of them and get ready to celebrate. And we will continue on Storm Watch this afternoon. We know wintry weather is moving in, but right now coming behind that are some ice and cold temperatures. Let's get over to Storm Watch team's Hope Osawaka. She's here tracking it all for us and breaking it down. What's coming our way?
Yeah, we can start seeing the high wind.
Welcome back. Well, it is that time of year again, daylight saving time. On Sunday, you and I will both lose an hour of sleep as we will spring forward 1 hour. One positive, though, about daylight saving time is the extra sunshine you'll get in those spring evenings. Now, as of 2021, there are 33 states who have proposed bills to end using daylight saving time, but legislation can't take effect until the federal law would change. Meanwhile, some Walgreens and CVS pharmacy locations are now ready to test people for COVID-19 and treat those who test positive with antiviral medications. It's part of the White House's Test to Treat initiative. More than 1,000 pharmacy clinic locations received COVID-19 antiviral pills this week. The White House says both the COVID testing and the oral medications will be free for customers. And we continue on Storm Watch this afternoon. Hope is here, and Hope, you said that a majority of the precipitation is kind of making its way out, but now we've got cold behind it, cold and wind?
Yes, we're talking about temperatures dropping to the 20s in just a matter of hours.